Welcome back. It's based on a true story. Detroit is a film by the Academy Award-winning director Kathryn Bigelow. The dramatic thriller follows or depicts the real-life events and accounts of what happened on one terrifying evening of the summer of 1967 during the civil unrest that tore apart the city of Detroit, and it's traumatic. This much-anticipated, heart-wrenching flick opened in the Southern African cinema circuit on the 18th of August by the United International Pictures Africa. And while to shed more light about this movie, I'm joined in studio by the marketing manager at UIP, Stefan Rieder. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thanks, Paul.
Now, Stefan, Detroit has certainly been the buzzword for the past 2 weeks. Everybody's talking about it. I've been reading a lot of reviews online. People have been attending a lot of screenings. But just briefly take us through the film and really what the focus is.
So it is 1967 in the US, and there are huge civil uprisings in the city of Detroit. And this captures one moment in time where there's huge interrogation, intimidation, and then unfortunately 3 African-American men get killed by the police. So it's the story and obviously the drama that unfolds across that.
Now, the film was released in the US about 2 weeks ago. But why do you think it's so important and relevant for the global community to see this film, and specifically South Africa? There are quite a few similarities between what transpired here during apartheid and, of course, what took place in Detroit. But why is it so important for us to keep seeing stories that depict the struggle of people throughout the world?
I think the articulation of certain issues, whether that is through theatre or writing books, or in this case through film, is very important, because people seem to not learn through the mistakes and through the atrocities of the past. So to highlight it in something like a film is always very good. Obviously, you can have broad reach across all platforms for it, and it's important to keep on telling the stories so the younger generations know what's going on and what happened in the past.
And are you hoping that this movie will sort of open and continue to encourage the dialogue that we kind of seem to run away from, not just the South Africans, but, you know, as a global community with all the racial tension, I mean, that's happening in the US, and we see there's still quite a lot of racial tension in this country. Do you hope that through this film, people would be sort of reminded of, you know, each other's suffering, and that would maybe, you know, just spur on some sort of, I don't know, understanding and open dialogue into the issues that really affect us? Yeah,
I totally agree with that. I think South Africa is such a great case study, an example for the rest of the world, especially the Truth and Reconciliation Committee. It really opens up dialogue, and something like this does need to get addressed. And you're right, you just look at Charlottesville at the moment in the US to understand that this is not only a South African issue, it certainly is deeply entrenched within the American culture, and people need to keep on talking about it, and something like film obviously brings that to the foreground.
What are some of the scenes that really resonated with you and maybe touched you so deeply? Because, I mean, we spoke off air and you were telling me just how intense this film is and how it really, you know, just shakes one and forces one to really connect with a part of themselves that they maybe not trying to, you know, reveal or get in touch with.
I think obviously it tells a story about this one night within Detroit, and then how they capture some of the people that were in the Algiers motel. Then once they are in the hotel, and the brutality and the interrogation and the intimidation that happens by the police, that entire scene is hardly cut, and you are with these people throughout the whole experience, and that will resonate with anyone that sees it, because there's no denying the subject matter at that point. It is what it is. And Kathryn Bigelow was able to keep very close to the real story, and as you watch it, you can't really take your eyes off the screen.
Now, outside of the race issue, what other types of conversations or dialogues are you hoping that us as South Africans will be open to having more of? You know, obviously from having watched the film, what kind of dialogue do you hope the film will spark in our communities, in our social circles, in our workplaces?
I think it will, I hope that it will spark conversations of reconciliation, understanding, moving on. really delving into the core of what happened, making sure that you don't repeat the atrocities of the past. It's all of those things.
All right, so definitely no more shoving it under the carpet and pretending like it's not there.
Definitely not.
All right, and tell us, how long will the film be on circuit and how it's been doing?
It has just opened, so I can't really give you any numbers. It opened in South Africa yesterday. We are hoping, obviously, for a great run. That's all dependent, obviously, what the box office does. But we are expecting 5, 6, 7 weeks at the box office. So get out there, see it. It really is something that everyone needs to see.
Well, phenomenal. I know you don't have the numbers yet, but let me tell you, social media, mainstream media has really been a buzz with Detroit. And I'm telling you now, a lot of people will be rushing to see it, myself included.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Stefan Rieder. He is the marketing manager at United International Pictures South Africa. He's been speaking to us about the South African release of the film Detroit that opened in cinemas nationwide on the 18th of August. So let's keep it at the box office for as long as we can.